guys are, you can see physically they were just done. And I'm seeing, I know Djokovic, I think he has a mental edge on Federer. I think he's a little tougher. He's a little more resilient. He's his diet, the guy, I think, just drinks liquid on the weekdays. I mean, the guy is nuts, and he was visualizing before the match, all this stuff. So I'm just watching everything and learning, and it was just amazing.
Federer choked, right?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I mean, something happened at the end. I don't know, mentally. Something, you can see just this glaze in his eyes. Something, I don't know what it is.
But I feel like if it had been a couple of points of difference, he would have won, and we wouldn't be saying any of those things. We wouldn't have seen any glaze in anyone's eyes.
If he won, there's no way he could have choked.
But I'm just saying, if he had scored, basically if 4 shots had gone differently, he wins, and we're not saying any of that stuff, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's something, he has 2 match points, and sometimes here's the issue. You actually imagine that you've won, and you're already celebrating, and who knows what he was really thinking during these points. But and the other player is trying, they're 100%, and they're really, and it's a slight difference at that level. One crazy little mental hiccup, and it's, you lose your match points, and now there's match points against you.
Red Foo, it's great analysis because Michael Irvin told us, Dan, that when you're winning and you're trying to close someone out, he told us this, you really need to focus. You can't think about the winning and the celebration afterwards. That's the time in the game where you really need to focus. And Federer, he is right. He was already holding up the plate, the Wimbledon plate, rather than finishing off Novak Djokovic. Red Foo, man, you are on it. Tennis expert.
Hey, baby.
Red Foo, what are we seeing from Serena in these most recent finals? She's making it to the finals, looking good and getting to it, but when it comes to the finals, she's not really putting up much of a fight in them. What do you think's going on there, Red Foo?
I didn't catch that match, but I know that Serena is got to be probably the best female competitor out there. So we know she wants to win. I think she's fighting, but Halep, it's not just, your own world and your own fight and your own this. You have to beat the person across the net, and they're fighting. And Halep, she, from what I saw from the highlights, she was just physically and mentally, just on point. And so there's not much, Serena is so publicly known. She has the press conferences. She has the sponsors, and she has to do so many things. Now she has the kids. She has a lot more to think about, now. And she's, greatest of all time. She has more pressure on her. So she has to even fight that much harder to just focus, like you guys are saying. So it's a tough thing for her.
Red Foo is with us, LMFAO. He's an assistant coach for the Vegas Rollers of World Team Tennis. The Rollers take on the Philadelphia Freedom Sunday, 3 p.m. on CBS. Your dad sold Motown, right? Your dad.
Yeah.
Sold Motown. Do you know how much he sold Motown for?
Oh, I don't know for sure. I think it's in his book, but I think I remember something around $60 million.
And is that a good price in retrospect? Like the business of Motown, is that what that should have gone for?
I think it was one of the first big sales on the block. Back then, I think Geffen Records, sold for $500 million shortly after.
So you think you get robbed? Is that where you're going, Dan? It seems like you get robbed, Red Foo.
Motown,
$60 million is nice, but
So, I think that's. I think So that's what I think, but I think it's all in his book. I mean, he actually tells these kind of stories. But it's a tough business out there. It's tough.
Red Foo, we want to make some news with this interview. What's your hottest tennis take?
my hottest tennis take.
Yeah, like an opinion you have on tennis that we can put all over ESPN. You're not going to believe what Red Foo of LMFAO. We're trying to get in the news. Our show really craves that because it doesn't get quite enough of that. So we are wanting you to break some news here with some content that we can use all over ESPN. So does the assistant coach of the Vegas Rollers of World Team Tennis think that Federer is on steroids, or like something that will be a really hot take?
Right,
Really
anything
teeing
like
it up
that.
for him.
Right.
I'm just giving him some options.
Oh my God! No, I have. I don't know anything.
Dan pushed too far, Red Foo.
I did. I'm sorry.
Well, just like
You
Roger,
could've said-
37, playing at a very high level.
You could have said Djokovic
Yeah.
stinks on clay or something like that, and it would have been just fine. Dan really raised
You
the
can say
ante.
Nadal's
Yeah.
overrated. I'll help you out here. I
scared
mean,
you.
he is.
It feels like I scared it Party Rock Anthem. It feels like I just ruined the Party Rock
Tsitsipas
Anthem.
needs to get a new tennis coach.
I'm a little nervous. Right now.
Okay, we'll move on to other things then. Can you tell us what it was like to grow up around music and, in the home of your father, Berry Gordy?
Well, I grew up with my mother, but I would visit my dad in the summertime. It was like he was always having parties, but he had like tennis parties, and he would have chess competition and Smokey Robinson, and he's the biggest competitor ever in the world. And they're playing chess, they're playing backgammon, and they're betting in backgammon and all that stuff. And there was a lot of animals around, peacocks and llamas, and it was just an amazing. But it was a very athletic. Situation going on. And to me, all these guys were just family. And then I would get into school and realize that Smokey was famous. And these people were, and kids wanted to be my friend just because of who my dad was. Or that, or maybe they could meet Smokey Robinson one day, or they would get invited to the Easter party, So it was a kind of a weird thing growing up, but when I was a kid, it was just all, normal stuff.
Except for the llamas? Like, why were there llamas at your parties?
They were just on the ground. They were just, I guess my dad, liked, there was birds and llamas and peacocks and, dogs. And, it was just, I don't know.
You ever see those viral videos of those llamas where they shave the neck, but they leave the hair around the face, and then they put sunglasses on the llama? That's wild.
Yeah.
All right, very good. He's an assistant coach for the Vegas Rollers of World Team Tennis. The Rollers take on the Philadelphia Freedoms this Sunday, 3 p.m. on CBS. We appreciate your tennis analysis, Red Foo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, babies.
Money, 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 money.
Analysis.
Dollar Shave Club has the tools to clean your face, your hair, your teeth, your body, keep you clean, efficient. You got to do this, people. Support the people who support us. If you believe in this nonsense that we do every day, if you find it something that should be supported at times that it can be difficult to support, please support Dollar Shave Club. Tell them, Stu.
Yep, Dollar Shave Club is way more than razors. You name it, they have it, and I use it. As a Dollar Shave Club member, you are getting the highest quality, and right now, you can put the quality of Dollar Shave Club's products to the test. Their ultimate starter sets have basically everything you need for an amazing shower, close shave, or clean teeth. The best part is you could try each one for just $5. After that, the restock box ships regular size products at regular prices. Get your ultimate starter set right now for just $5 only at dollarshaveclub.com/Dan. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Dan.
305 till I died on the Dan Lebatard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Need game tickets? Find your seats at Vivid Seats.
Bacon Fest is on at Wendy's. Wendy's sells the most bacon cheeseburgers in America, so we're celebrating with Bacon Fest and turning up the sizzle with the bacon double stack and the $5 Biggie Bag. Get ready for tons of hot and crispy bacon hits, like the $5 Biggie Bag featuring the bacon double stack, 4 nuggets, small fries, and a small drink for just $5. Only with Wendy's Bacon Fest. Based on servings among quick service restaurants over 12-month period ending March 2019. Source the MPD Group Press. Price of participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
The Home Depot's making it easy to turn your favorite moment into the perfect color for any room with the Project Color app. Upload any image, then discover the colors and paint to match. Now you're a swipe and a click closer to everything you need for your next project. Explore the most popular colors and trending palettes to find your perfect paint. Get a colorful new experience with the Project Color app, then shop our best brands with gallons starting from just $25.97 at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
I'm Jordan Glass with your sports update on ESPN Pensacola 94.5. For your Pensacola Blue Wahoos, it's Game 2 of the 4-game series against the Mississippi Braves. They're on the road for this series. They'll be back home after they wrap up this series on Monday, July 22nd for a 5-game series against the Mobile Bay Bears. For your UWF Argos, Argo fans, we are 48 days away from the start of the 2019 football season. This is going to be a fun team to watch, so be sure to head over to GoArgos.com to get your tickets today. I'm Jordan with your sports update on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
At ESPN Pensacola 94.5, we are football. When UWF scores that game-winning touchdown on your home for the Argos, we are football. When your favorite high school team celebrates a victory on Friday night under the lights on the game of the week, we are football. When former NFL coach Kay Stevenson gives his expert advice, we are football. With Golick and Wingo in the morning and Paul Feinbaum in the afternoon. College alumni shows at 1 from Alabama to Florida. And the Sports Drive at 5 with legendary SEC interviews like Gene Stallings and Pat Dye. We are football. The weekends are made for football in the South. So wake up Saturday mornings with College Game Day, the Sports Call, and the biggest NCAA games of the week. On Sunday, sit down with Pensacola's best of the NFL like Fred Robbins and Fantasy Football Inside from the Fantasy Sleepers, followed by the best NFL football games from coast to coast. So in all, we're not just football, we are local football. ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Do you let other people order for you at a restaurant?
He'll have the saumon lyonnaise.
No, I won't. Or pick the movie you're gonna see? She'd like a ticket to Attack on Rage Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, come on. So why would you let others make all the important decisions about how your life is going to be when you get older? I mean, is it okay with you if your kids decide where you're going to live? My kids? Are you ready?
Are you kidding?
Or perfect strangers choose who'll be taking care of you?
Not gonna happen.
No, Better visit longtermcare.gov, the trusted information site that helps you find your own path forward without selling you anything. It takes you step by step through everything you need to consider about aging and all your options. Longtermcare.gov. Stay in charge by planning now or pay later.
How about a mohawk?
How about a mohawk? How about I put my foot right... Oh, hi, honey.
Our Pensacola Wahoos are back for another season, and with the new season comes some fresh and new changes. Our Wahoos are now the new AA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, and they have a new broadcast home here in Pensacola, right here at your hometown station for hometown sports, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos action from home and away with Chris Garagiola. Wahoos baseball presented by Denny's on the new official flagship station for the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and ESPNpensacola.com.
What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and you're listening to ESPN Pensacola.
Hey, Chad here for the Sports Drive. Catch us 5 to 7 Monday through Friday for the latest in local, collegiate, and national news. Right here on Pensacola's sports leader, ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Chad was great.
This is former Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Washington High School alum Derek Brooks. You're listening to ESPN Pensacola.
What goes together better than beer and barbecue? That's right, nothing at all. Saturday, the Christmas in July celebration at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola continues. Come out for barbecue from Smokin' Joe's Barbecue. Free beer from Harley's Angels. Then on Sunday, bring the kids to Harley-Davidson of Pensacola for a Sunday fun day. Full of summer crafts, snacks, and juice for the kids. And don't sweat paying interest until fall with Harley-Davidson's 0% interest promo happening now. Harley-Davidson of Pensacola, let's ride.
The most trusted name in the game is ESPN Pensacola 94.5, home to the Pensacola Blue Wahoos and UWF Argos football.
Don Le Batard.
It's Friday. I'm getting into the weekend. I want to get my drink on.
Stugats.
We've got to open up the club. Open it. Open it. Open it. Now. What is the computer buffering? There it is.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
I need the right one with a bad imagination.
If you missed any of our interviews, go check them out on demand in the Dan Le Batard podcast, brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
At Le Batard Show on Twitter, if you want to vote on the polls, we will be updating the polls in a second with Stugats. We will also be opening up the club and sending you into the weekend with an assortment of sounds. I suspect there will be a good deal of Billy Ray Cyrus in the club. Stugats, what do we have here on the polls?
The Twitter poll is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club delivers the products you use to look, feel, and smell your best right to your door. Plus, with their handsome discount, the more you buy, the more you save. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Dan for a special offer. At Le Batard Show on Twitter, will there be more missions for Maverick? 73% of the audience said yes. This is not his final mission. If that's the last drop of blood, how can there possibly be more blood? 56% of the audience said, I don't know, and 44% of the audience said, I don't know. How about that? Would you rather eat every meal as a pill?
Our first 100% poll.
Yes, there
Our
it is.
very first 100%
Celebrate,
poll.
guys. Yes. This is very exciting. Would you rather eat every meal as a pill or eat every meal with your hands? Seems like a fairly easy one.
Easy one.
Yeah, I guess the audience agreed. 80% of the audience said with your hands. With your hands. Is there ever too much bacon? This seemed like a fairly easy one. This felt like it should have been 100%. It wasn't. 75% of the audience said no.
Bacon's okay. The whole bacon hive is a little. I like bacon. It adds to a lot of things, but let's chill.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Put that on the poll. Bacon. Let's chill.
Should we chill about the bacon?
I'd much rather Parmesan on something.
Really?
Yeah. Why isn't there a Parmesan hive?
Want that with your eggs?
Parmesan makes almost anything better. White rice.
There's
Put
no way.
Parmesan on white rice.
There's no way
It's
it makes
incredible.
Mike, it does not make eggs better.
Of course it can.
No way.
Try it.
No.
Eggs.
Agree to disagree then.
All right.
You really, guys, are really going back and forth aggressively on this. I can't believe how passionate Stugats is. Yes, no. Yes, no.
If your wife surprises you with a cruise to Alaska that you don't want to go on, are you allowed to surprise yourself with new golf clubs? That's a great question. 81. How'd these get here? 81% of the audience said yes. Will you take Stugats up on his dare to not watch the Top Gun sequel? It was really the trailer, not the sequel. I dare you. I dare you not to watch the trailer. You don't want to see the sequel, I understand. 56% of the audience said yes. Those are the polls, Dan.
Didn't you guys ask before what would it take to get you to not go watch the Top Gun sequel? Like, would we have to murder you to not?
Florida would have to be underwater.
Yeah, pretty much.
Before we get to the opening of the club, real quick, I did find interesting Netflix offering $70 million to Eddie Murphy, reportedly, to bring back his stand-up routine. We have talked for the better part of 10 years about the fact that comedy doesn't age well and that Eddie Murphy's comedy has not aged well, that in becoming a dad, whatever the edge was in his 20s that made him maybe the best young comic of all time. Like you can make the argument in Saving Saturday Night Live that there has never been a more successful young comedy person than Eddie Murphy. But it's been about 40 years since then? 30 years? Is he 60 yet? Has it been 40 years since Eddie Murphy broke onto the scene? Comedy doesn't age well, with very few exceptions, like Don Rickles and George Burns.
He's 58 years old.
Man,
but
he's only 4 years older than Chris Rock.
Right.
Think about that. Chris Rock seemed like a young protege.
But he did go away from stand-up because, I think in large part because of his children. So I guess the children are old enough now. So.
Well, this is what happens, though, sometimes. Like, why, dad jokes. Dad jokes is a real thing. Like, when you become a certain age, you're not as edgy as he was when he was 19, 20 years old.
He was so edgy that the comedy is one of those things that fall victim to not really aging well because the times have shifted. Is this a smart play by him by not doing stand-up? I imagine he's making $70 million reportedly is the offer. That more than makes up for the time he spent away from the game.
Mike, there's never a time where $70 million is not a smart play.
I know, but I'm trying to figure over the course of 30 years, he still could have been making millions upon millions of dollars touring.
Let's go ahead and do it. Send people into the weekend with some fun sounds that allow us to remember the week that was.
The sound of the day is brought to you by mycomputercareer.edu, training for a better life.
This is Debbie Deb Lookout Weekend. We've been doing this for more than a decade around here where we send you into the weekend. It used to be for happy hour when we were an afternoon show. Now it's the drinking problem hour of 1 p.m. Eastern that we are sending you out into the weekend with. First sound, Mike Ryan.
Do you remember Bob Chase?
Yes.
That is Billy Gill answering a question efficiently with a bold-faced lie.
Do you remember Bob Chase?
Yes.
Who else is in the club?
I live around the corner. I'm there always.
Where you live? What's your address?
That is Awkward Billy asking Jorge Masvidal, owner of the fastest knockout ever, what his address is.
I live around the corner. I'm there always.
Where you live? What's your address?
A terrible interview question. Terrible. What else you got there, Mike? Wow, that's right, Bobby, because you've been mean to him. Daddy, are you Daddy, what happened there? Dad, are you intrigued?
Daddy.
I have been draped in that shame all week. I called my father. I'm a 50-year-old man. I called my father accidentally Daddy on television. Daddy, are you Daddy, what happened there? Dad, are you intrigued?
It's so cute.
Why? It's not cute. It's repulsive and creepy and weird. Who else is on the show?
Whose balls are juiced?
What was that, Daddy?
That, of course, is Billy Ray Cyrus. What else you got?
Whose balls are juiced?
Oh, yes, that is Elmo. Who else in the club?
Mayor Balls personally called him following the broadcast to correct his pronunciation, saying, quote, "Son, this is your mayor. I pronounce my name Balls."
I need to apologize. I honestly, until after the segment ended and we went to commercial break, had no idea that Jonathan Coachman was black.
Hope you enjoyed the Dan Levatar Show on ESPN Radio.
World Star.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Stugatz here to sleep really cool and comfortable this summer. Get rid of your heat-trapping mattress and get a Casper. Its breathable foams are designed to keep you cool all night long. Plus, it's softer under your shoulders and firmer under your hips for healthy alignment and extra support. Go to Casper.com and use code STU for $100 towards the purchase of select mattresses. That's Casper.com and use code STU for $100 towards the purchase of select mattresses. Additional terms and conditions apply. See Casper.com/terms.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and are behind on your monthly payments, you need to make this free call right now. 800-428-4187. When you call the Stop Debt Hotline, you're taking the first steps for help. Debt specialists are part of a real team who will help you with all of your options. You could stop the collection calls and letters forever by calling the completely confidential toll-free number right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can handle your debt forever. Imagine no more late nights and no more debt. Don't try to face your creditors alone. Call the Stop Debt Hotline right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. Get free information now by calling the Stop Debt Hotline. 800-428-4187. 4187. Non-attorney spokesperson paid for by Debt Resolution Helpline. 102 Northeast 2nd Street, number 183, Boca Raton, Florida, 33432.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of.
It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there.
We are broadcasters, your home for Pensacola sports, ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Introducing. Nah, not big enough. It's the brand new. Nah, still not big enough. Introducing the brand new French-inspired topped with fresh fruit crepes lineup, only at Denny's. Yeah, that's better. There's the new banana chocolate hazelnut crepes, the banana berry caramel crepes, and the strawberry vanilla crepes, made with fresh strawberries, strawberry sauce, and vanilla cream. Fresh fruit, French, and delicious. Come try all three. See you at Denny's. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
All sports, all the time. ESPN Pensacola, 94.5 WYCT Pensacola. The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5. You're listening to Talk Football with Coach K. Good afternoon. I'm Davis Allen. And hanging out with me, as always, our very own head coach, Coach K. Stevenson. Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Davis. Good to be with you.
Always good to be with you, Coach. And, of course, like any day, there's always some news coming out of the football landscape. And today is no different. We are going to be going over some of the biggest news, one of them being Tyreek Hill. And the NFL has come down with a decision on his status for this season. We'll talk about that. Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the University of Michigan, is calling out one of his rival old head coaches. And if we have some time, we'll go over some rankings, and we do want to break down a few more college schedules. But, Coach, I want to go back to what's probably the biggest news in the NFL at the moment. Tyreek Hill, he's the star wide receiver of the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL came out with the announcement today that he will not be facing any discipline from the NFL, and he is expected to arrive at training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. Coach, big news for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, that's huge for the Kansas City Chiefs. This kid is a playmaker, absolutely one of the best. He's got tremendous speed. He catches the ball well. He can run with the football, elusive. To boot, he has the speed to, once he gets a step on somebody, he's going to outrun anybody on the football field. No, it's a huge, huge plus for Kansas City, and I think we may see this as a precedent on some other things too.
This is big news for the Chiefs, and to give some, and this could be a tender subject for most, and to warn you, the reason why that Tyreek Hill and this all came about, it was because he was facing alleged abuse allegations involving children. So the NFL, along with the separate courts, they looked into this. The NFL has determined that there is not anything there for them to discipline him on, and that is the judgment there. Is there anything else out there? We are unsure, and nor do we really have much to say about that. But we will.
Well, the main thing is that they obviously found that he had been falsely accused,
right?
And that being the case, then thank goodness nothing happened,
right?
If the kid was falsely accused of that. Now, if he is guilty, then he needs to pay a heavy, heavy price. But if the law enforcement people and the NFL, believe me, the NFL could probably do a better job than law enforcement in many cases on investigation. They've got ex-FBI people and other people working for them that can do a great job on investigating. So I would say there's really a good chance that they didn't have anything to prove that he had done something wrong. So thank goodness.
And Tyreek Hill expected to be at training camp, as mentioned before. Now shifting on over to college football. Michigan head football coach Jim Harbaugh had some comments about Urban Meyer, the now former head coach of Ohio State University, saying that anywhere Urban goes, quote, controversy follows him. Everywhere he has been, there is some kind of controversy. Well, it's keeping in mind when Urban was the head coach at the University of Florida, there were multiple players that had been arrested, and there have been players who are, Aaron Hernandez is one of the bigger names. His life was full of controversy, and we now know the results of how that all went. And he was speaking to the Athletics, the TK Show podcast, making these comments. Well, now he follows that up with, anything I said should not have to be a surprise. Y'all are blowing this out of proportion. First off, Coach, did Jim Harbaugh even need to make these comments about Meyer, a coach who's not even actively coaching?
No, I don't think so. The better course of action would have been to if you can't say anything nice about him, just change the subject. Don't say anything. But let me say this in his defense. What he said, and you look back at the track record of Urban Meyer, and it's been hectic and upheaval, has been everywhere he's been. Even his health problem. He loses the ball game to Alabama, and all of a sudden he's got a tremendous health problem. And maybe he did. I don't know. I shouldn't say too much about that. But I just see Urban Meyer as being somebody who I think Harbaugh's right on this one. Controversy follows.
And going back on over to the NFL, Coach Joe Flacco came out and said that he has a lot left in him, and this is following the Broncos drafting Drew Lock out of the University of Missouri, and the reports came out that says Flacco doesn't want to be looked at as a mentor. He doesn't want to treat Drew Lock as his understudy. He wants to still be the starting quarterback and play as if he's the starting quarterback. He doesn't want to look ahead to the future, that it could all be over next year or in just a couple of weeks. But Joe Flacco coming in there with the mindset that he has a lot left, and really as a guy who personally supports Joe Flacco, I would like to believe he has a lot left. He's still a fairly young quarterback. He had a lot to give until injuries started plaguing him.
Well, I agree with you, and I would agree with your assessment there on Joe Flacco. I think he's a questionable, in my eyes, he's a questionable winning quarterback. he can win for you when you surround him with all of the talent needed to do so. Certainly with that good defense they had there for so long, that really, with the turnovers and defensive scores, that made his job fairly easy. No job, I shouldn't say easy, because there's no quarterback job in the NFL that's easy, but it certainly made it more palatable, let's put it that way. Now, he's been up and down. He's a peaks and valley quarterback. He's a sitting duck back there behind the rush is going to get to him. I don't think he has a particularly fast release to ward off the rush. So I just think Joe Flacco, if he goes out there and they can play that. Now listen, one redeeming factor for Denver